Yes, it is true. Vaccines could have a few side effects. So let's learn how vaccines work and how dangerous they are to understand the importance of vaccines. Our body, it has a very complex system called the immune system. It helps you defeat diseases and small infections very easily. It is a very complex system. Intelligent cells, soldiers, weapon factories, a lot of that stuff. It is so powerful that small infections that you get every day are handled by your immune system, so you don't even notice. There are thousands of countless of bacteria attacking you every single day, but your immune system handles it easily, so you won't notice. But when the infection becomes serious, your intelligent cells that are in your a part of your immune system, they go to the battlefield, they collect information about the infection, and they travel a very, very long path down your body, and then they come to the weapon factories. So the intelligent cells, let's imagine that the weapon factories have a computer-like thing. So intelligent cell inject that information in the weapon factory. The weapon factories analyze the information and make the best antibodies that could be used to defeat the virus. It usually takes a bit of a long time, about 2-3 days to do the whole process. So it could have a lot of disadvantage because the bacteria might harm more of your soldiers while you're creating antibodies. But when the antibodies are ready, they are like targeted missiles towards the virus, and then they kill them. The main type of antibodies that you see over here in the picture, that is the main type of antibodies. There are a lot of type of antibodies, but the main type to use is like this, shown here. Whenever antibodies are created, some of your B cells in your bodies are automatically created into memory cells. What is memory cells, by the way? Memory cells are a cell that helps you remember the viruses you have beaten. They are in a sleep, they sleep a lot. And then when an infection, if it comes for a second time that the memory cell remembers, it will immediately order for the immediate production of antibodies. This is so fast, it happens in a few hours or so. Antibodies keep the information collected by intelligent cells into their minds. So, and all the data that memory cells have are permanent and can't be deleted by any means. So that's how this is the immune system, and this is how we get immune to viruses and bacteria forever. But the thing is, babies, if you see, let's say, then a lot of people will ask, if this is how it works, then why do babies constantly get ill again and again? This is because they don't have enough memory cells there, and that is what vaccines are used for, to develop this mechanism. Getting memory cells through a disease is unpleasant and sometimes dangerous, because you really don't want to be in a hospital bed for days, and it could be possible that you could die or have a lot of difficult consequences. But vaccines are an easy way to get memory cells without getting a virus and infection. Vaccines are a way of pretending to be an infection. They pretend like an infection. So the immune system, it thinks that this is an infection and it doesn't realize that it is a vaccine. In the vaccine, there are a small amount of bacteria that are ripped or killed to make it easy for our immune system to handle and kill them. They are enough to make a few handful of memory cells, so you would get immune to the virus that you have taken the vaccine for. If you have taken a vaccine for corona, you will get immune to corona. That's how it works. Sometimes if we have to make our bodies work a bit more harder to make more amount of memory cells. But it you might ask that it might be dangerous, right? Because having an enemy that could actually kill you in your body sounds dangerous. So what happens if the germs win? To avoid that, scientists they do one thing. They clone a small cousin of that dangerous virus and they have it in the lab. They are not that strong, but they are just enough to make the maximum amount of memory cells and still be handled by your immune system. So it means that they use weakened germs to make memory cells, and in that order you get immunity. Then there are also risks of vaccines. Vaccine also being a great weapon also has some risks and side effects. In Europe, millions of people were vaccinated, but there was only 25,000 cases of measles. In 1963, before measles vaccine was created, almost every kid on earth contracted measles at some point. In the 1950s, there were 125 million cases of measles every single year, every day and every year. Till 1950 to 1963, before it was created, the vaccine was created. But is measles really dangerous in the year 2021 with our new advanced healthcare and medicine? So just to imagine the power of vaccines, let's do a thought experiment based on real numbers. So first we'll start off with no vaccination. So let's imagine another world in another parallel universe with advanced medical healthcare, but people don't have value for vaccine and they stop vaccinating. So let's see if what happens if 10 million children get measles. So what would happen? So 9.8 million kids, they will have a very irritating rash, which will be irritating and a lot. They have to go to the doctor constantly. 800,000 kids will get a dangerous diarrhea. So they have to constantly go to the toilet and they can't just get off it. And 700,000 kids will get an ear infection causing permanent hearing loss for their whole lifetime. Or if you're lucky enough, you won't get permanent hearing loss, but you will get a very, very irritating irritation on your ears. 600 kids will get pneumonia. Pneumonia? Is that the correct pronunciation? Pneumonia? Okay, pneumonia.
Pneumonia. It's pneumonia. It's pneumonia now. It's pneumonia.
Okay. It alone will kill 12,000 kids. 10,000 kids will get encephalitis.
Maybe
that is not.
Can you close the window and the door? The noise is coming from background from long time.
Oh, wait a second. Mama, my door और खिड़की बंद कर रहा. Okay. I hope no more background noise will come.
Yeah.
Yes. So where was I? Okay, 10,000 kids. So 10,000 kids will get encephalitis. That is the most dangerous effect of measles. Then 2.5 thousand kids will get SSPE. It is a very serious disease that causes the measles virus to linger into their brain and kill them after a few years. So if a kid got measles, let's imagine they got the measles at the age of 7. So after 2-3 years, maybe when they're 10 or 11 age, the measles virus will fully take control of the brain and kill it. So the kid will die. Taken all together, 2.5 million kids will be sick and 20,000 children will be killed by measles. Though it doesn't stop there. Kids who beat measles, they have a very damaged immune system. That will probably take about more than 2 weeks to recover, which means that more bacteria and viruses could come and kill you. So it's almost guaranteed that anybody that got the virus or has beaten the virus will have a really bad time for 2 weeks. But what about vaccines? It is fair to look at that risk too. So let's repeat our thought experiment, but this time we vaccinate all the kids, all the 10 million kids that we have with MMR, the vaccine to measles. 1 million kids will get a mild fever, but it will be probably, if you go to the doctor, it will be fixed by some 2-3 days of medication. Then 500 kids, meaning 500,000 kids, will get a mild rash. It will not be as dangerous as the rash before with no vaccination, but if you get vaccinated, then you will get a mild rash and it won't be that irritating. Then 100 kids will get a serious allergic reaction and will have to be treated. 10 kids will get the inflammation of the genitalia. So they will get sweaty and hot very near of their private parts. And then 10 kids will get the most serious side effect, encephalitis. So 120 kids got some serious side effects. But with their advanced healthcare, all of them will be fine. But what about autism? Autism is a disease or a disability that doesn't let you do one thing of use a part of your body or do one physical or mental thing. It basically gives you a disability. Autism's most common disabilities are impaired, what is that called? Impaired hearing and not able to speak and not able to use a lot of your body parts. That's the most common symptoms of autism. So what about autism if you get autism? Some people think that if you vaccinate, you might get autism. But scientists did a lot of studies and found out that vaccines don't cause autism, and it is true. So in 2021, it is safe and fair to say that vaccines do not cause autism. But what about deaths? A lot of people think that vaccines, if they don't cause autism, what happens over there? Some people might die. So if you vaccinate, almost a lot of your kids will actually not die. Nobody will die because of the power of vaccines. There has been a lot of studies and only a handful of them have been proven to be deaths, but they are also not confirmed. So, why is it not stitching? Oh, my slide is not okay. Importance of vaccination. So the importance of vaccination is that you get immune to the infection. Meaning if somebody around you will get the infection, it will not spread to you, meaning that the virus doesn't have more hosts and it will die immediately. It will help lockdowns and maintenance be more effective and easier, because if there are a lot of vaccinated people, then there will be a lot of infected people. Sorry, a lot less infected people. Then lockdowns and maintenance will be actually more effective. It also lets us immune system learn something about the virus and get immune to the infection forever. And it also eradicates viruses and diseases. So that's a very good thing. So the conclusion is measles virus, when it was back in 1950s, is way more dangerous than even the most serious side effect of vaccines. The biggest side effect of vaccines is less dead children. Scientists say that. You want to say something?
No, 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 no. I didn't say anything. You carry on. You carry on. You finish, then I'll have my questions to you.
Okay. Scientists say that you should vaccinate your child, and with studies and research, they found out that it is very effective to vaccinate a child. While the anti-vax side argues that you shouldn't vaccinate your child with a lot of bunch of fake proof and a lot of personal feelings. It is as same as putting a seatbelt on your child. Is it possible that a few people died with their seatbelt on? Well, yes, it could be. But do you think it is safe to not put a seatbelt? No, it is not. So the conclusion is, if you vaccinate your child, they will stay safe and healthy from that infection for their whole lifetime. Some viruses mutate so often that you might need to take a lot of them occasionally, lot of vaccines occasionally, but most vaccines protect you for a lifetime. So thank you for reading till the whole way of this presentation. This is the end of this presentation, and thank you. Yes. Done?
Okay. So, well, so you made this presentation on your own. You collected the data from the internet or from somewhere.
Yes. I used sources from Google and YouTube and a lot of videos, lot of this lot of articles and some stuff to make this presentation. It was started on May 23, 2021, I guess, was the date, and it was completed on night of May 24. Okay. Yes, I have written the dates.
And what are the other topics you have covered making presentations?